Hi there, Erika Graiff of Becoming Luminous Women here. It is a cold, still January day here, where the depth of winter water medicine is nicely getting into all of our systems. I want to tell you about winter and how its effect on our systems really gives us an opportunity to look deeply into our survival issues. So the emotion of winter is fear. And if you think about water flows, water moves, water, if it's stagnant, that's when, then stagnation happens. If it moves, then life happens. And the freezing of water has almost a similar effect within our systems, causing a fight, flight, or freeze response. So, if we can just take a moment now and drop into our breathing. Allowing your body, your psyche, to have the breath that it needs to just land on the earth right now. Let us do that. Let's move into a space where we give permission, we choose the mother and her safety. It literally is a sinking, a grounding, a lowering of your energy that you feel. With each and every gentle breath, go ahead and allow your system to settle, lower, and land on the earth with a piece of your system, your psyche, goes about a foot or two down into the earth, deeply connected. And from here, we can have a conversation about fear and survival. In particular, what is happening within our world right now, and also how that is a reflection of the depths that are happening in us personally. In 2010, when I first laid eyes on Ona Sachs, Linda Fitch, and some of the other shamanic teachers that have been instrumental in opening my consciousness to what really is happening within us and within us as a global human family. The shamans talked about how 2012 was the great turning over. And the Mayan calendar ended there. So what happens is that it ended a cycle, right? A cycle ended. And now a new cycle has to begin. So in 2012, when the Mayan calendar ended, that did not mean that time ended. That just meant that cycle, that system, that way of being ended. And this has happened multiple times for us. In different civilizations, societies, the rise and fall of societies in Earth's history. And so when they talk about this great turning over, it's like a renewal. It's like turning over the soil so that new crops can be laid. And, a turning over is a movement. It is a movement forward, a deep movement forward where you go down deep into the depths of the soil, and then you bring those depths up to the surface. The movement is circular, cyclical, just like life brings us. Everything is a cycle. But if you think about the movement on a clock, it is a revolution to go around the 12 hours. And so this word revolution has been steeped into our minds as meaning something that comes out of nowhere, or comes out of strife, or comes out of maybe places that people don't understand. But the truth is that it is real and it is understandable. That a revolution comes from a time of newness. A time where the ground, the fields of life, of us, of our expression, needs to be turned over, needs to be renewed, needs to be brought down deep into ourselves, and from the depths of ourselves, the shadowy places, right? The places that have been kept in the dark, brought to the light. I feel like either in 2012 or 2013, Alberto Villoldo, who is one of my teachers, he heads up the Four Winds Society and was instrumental in bringing the work of the Caro as well as the work of the Amazonian shaman into North America. He's written lots of different books. One included Shaman, Healer, Sage, which I believe is his most famous. He, having the pleasure of working underneath him and following his writing, was really interesting to read some things back in 2012, 2013, and then see them where they are so applicable now. One in particular was a blog that he put out. I want to say it was in 2012. And he was, I believe, he either went on walkabout or went on, a journey within himself. I think he was out walking. And he was talking to his future self. And his future self said, yes, the great turning over began in 2012, but it really didn't start getting deep, and people did not start seeing the effects, and people did not start really reacting until 2016. Now, he wrote this blog 4 years before 2016, at least. And for him to be able to, he goes into the blog about how we no longer die, and it didn't actually say what year or how old he was in the future, but he was talking about how we actually no longer die. We just upload it to the cloud, which is pretty amazing. for him to say that. And that, he just had all of these beautiful insights from his future self. And so to sit here and watch 2016 go by and the intense revolution that it is creating now within ourselves, within our communities, within our society, and with our global human family, it is awe-inspiring and can be very fear-provoking for many, many people. This is where winter water medicine comes into play, because now we are in 2017, right? 2016, for me, 2010, 2009, 2013 to 2016 were intense learning experience for me. And I appreciate every bit of it. So now, moving forward and being in 2017 and having that experience under my belt and all of the beautiful gifts that it has brought me, courage, self-reliance, having the ability to have integrity in my words and in my energy, and a deep, abiding trust and communication and love and appreciation for the Mother Earth, as well as all of the other stabilizing factors that my challenges have brought me, bring me to a place to really understand this 2017 winter is essential for us to see how our fear right now, particularly of the inauguration that is happening at the end of the week now, and this Saturday, the March on Washington, the Women's March on Washington, as a result, these are big times and can bring up a lot of fear of survival for a lot of people. Now, when that fear comes up in the winter, it is a survival mechanism. Fear in a healthy dose, right? So kind of like low-lying fear, which Carla McLaren talks about in The Art of Empathy and the Language of Emotions, 2 different books. I suggest both of them. She talks about how there are different levels of fear. And so a low-lying level of fear is just something that keeps our instincts going. That's something that keeps us clear and intuitive, right? So it hones something very instinctual in us. So you'll see that happening for within yourself as the winter goes on. If you allow it, that can be an absolute stabilizing gift of winter. But it's when we, our foundations require that we go in even deeper and take a good hard look at our safety issues, our security issues, and our significance issues. That fear, it brings us even more gifts, but it meets us with the challenge that needs to be overcome or acknowledged and met before we are able to stabilize back into that healthy fear. So I want you to take a moment now and just be with yourself. Be with your breath once again. Allow the earth to hold you. Bringing your center and focus to your heart center. What emotions, feelings, colors, behavior patterns, what wants to happen there? Is there an instant I want to run away? I'll tell you, for me personally, this is what it looks like. The